What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Too Savage for Democrats show. My name is Dylan, and I am your host. And without further ado, let's just jump into the show because we have got so much to talk about. I mean, we got a lot of good stories. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on daily podcasts. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so I was just going through the Twitters this morning because I often scroll through the Twitters in the morning, just kind of get the news. Because, I follow a lot of the same news sources on Twitter or whatever. And it was funny because Bill Clinton, this thing pops up of Bill Clinton talking about, Donald Trump is racist with Make America Great Again. He says Donald Trump's racist for saying Make America Great Again. He's like, if you're a wild Southerner, you know exactly what that means. Right? So he's trying to imply that Trump means make America racist again, make America, segregation, bring back, all that bull crap from the past. And that's what he means by make America great again. Right? Well, it's funny because Bill Clinton has used the phrase make America great again on multiple occasions while he was president and when Hillary Clinton was running in 2008. He said it's time to make America great again. And then he used it again during campaigning in 1992. And then he used it again while he was in Washington in 1994. So, I mean, I don't get it. So is it racist if Trump uses it and it's not racist if Bill Clinton uses it? I mean, what is this? I just don't understand. But and it doesn't really surprise me because, again, this is Washington, right? This is politics. So you just pick and choose what's racist, even if it isn't racist at all. I just thought that was funny. Anyway, I want to get in to talk about the little forum, little Q&A kind of thing the candidates had the other day, because I thought it was really interesting, and you've seen a lot of dialogue about it recently. Afterwards, Donald Trump did a poll on Twitter, NBC News, and Donald Trump won by flying colors, said that he did the best. It was the whole veterans thing where they asked questions, stuff like that. And it was very interesting to watch because Matt Lauer is one of the moderators in the debate, so you kind of got a glimpse of what you're going to see from him in the debate, and he seemed like he was pretty challenging. He went after Trump very hard. Hillary Clinton got some questions that were tough, but the majority of tough questions went to Donald Trump. He got the majority of tough questions, and so it was really hard for him to get through this. But I was watching, and I found it very interesting. Donald Trump won the Twitter poll outright. I mean, everybody who watched that thing, what was it, like 63%, something like that? Just ridiculous number. Said that Donald Trump won. Let me get the actual poll results. I'm pulling them up here because I took a screenshot on my phone. We're going to get the actual poll results. I mean, Donald Trump won the poll big time. Yeah, here it is right here. Which candidate came on top at the NBC News Forum? Hillary Clinton, 37%. Donald Trump, 63%. 81,577 people took the poll. And I was one of those people, and I'm sure I've got a couple listeners who took it as well. That's amazing, right? And as I'm reading down the people who talk about it, like the dialogue about it on Twitter, I'm seeing the majority of the people are pro-Trump. Like, they're defending Trump. They don't like Hillary. And guys, I see this all over the place. This isn't something that, just, oh, wow, finally, people are talking about Trump. Like, no, this is something that I see genuinely all over the place. I mean, it seems as if the only place where Hillary Clinton is winning are these polls where they oversample Democrats. I mean, find me a place. I don't hear anybody ever talking about Hillary Clinton. It just seems like she's not a popular candidate. And it seems like no one really likes her. And who would? She has zero personality. I mean, one of the veterans got up to ask her a question yesterday, right? And he was like, I had access to classified information while I was in the military. And if I had handled the information not following protocol, I would have been prosecuted and put in prison. And then he says, how could we trust you considering you clearly betrayed the American people, blah, blah, blah. And she comes back with some snarky like, well, you don't understand the system. Look, they all have classified. And it was just so pretentious. So pretentious. She just comes off like a total B word, right? I'm not going to cuss because the whole YouTube monetization thing. But she comes off as a total jerk. And this guy's just trying to ask a question. Now, he was a Republican, but I think there's a lot of the American people who want to know that. And she comes off like that. And that's how she comes off to the American people. That's how she comes off to the American people. Now, they tried to make Donald Trump look bad. They brought up tweets. They brought up stuff from the past, tried to make him look bad, but it doesn't work because he's a good person. Donald Trump is a good person. Hillary Clinton is not. Now, this all ties back into the fact that I have never seen, and I guess I've maybe one or two hardcore Hillary Clinton supporters. Maybe one or two. Like, if we're stretching it, one or two. That's it. Like, I have 73, almost 73,000 followers on Instagram. I have almost 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I hardly ever see anybody comment on my pictures, comment on my videos, DM me, message me on the YouTube, email me. Hardly ever do I get people that are... Now, I've gotten pro-Hillary, right? But I never get, like, enthusiastic, like, Hillary Clinton, man, woo! You know, I never get any of that. Like, just people are not excited about Hillary Clinton. They're not. You can't feel it. If she wins this election, I will be genuinely surprised. Every prediction that I've seen, and looking at the facts myself, all of the facts lead to Hillary Clinton losing the election. I mean, Donald Trump's got the movement behind him. Donald Trump's winning with the average person. Now, it seems like the only time where Hillary Clinton's winning is if you listen to CNN or NBC or any of those news organizations, or if you look at their polls where they oversample Democrats. That's it. That's the only place it seems like she's winning. I mean, because she's not winning on these Twitter polls. Oh, but Dylan, Twitter polls don't matter. Twitter polls do matter. Oh, but only young people take Twitter polls. Not everybody can vote. It doesn't matter. Because those 80,000 people that took that poll, they watched the presidential forum, right? They saw both candidates. Doesn't matter if they were 17, 18, or 60. They saw the candidates, right? They formulated an opinion based on what they saw and took the Twitter poll. And Donald Trump won. It was clear Donald Trump did better in that than Hillary Clinton. And by the way, the argument that only young people use Twitter, that's even better for Donald Trump, because that would mean Donald Trump is looking better in the eyes of young people. Maybe some of those people that watched the presidential forum weren't exactly on Donald Trump's side, but then they see the presidential forum and they're like, wow, this guy is great. I like this guy. You know, I mean, it's just, I'm trying to figure out how Hillary Clinton's even winning right now, if she's even winning, because I don't see it. If someone could put in the comments down below how Hillary Clinton is winning, I would love that information, because I can't see it. I've looked everywhere. I can't find enthusiastic Hillary Clinton supporters. Now, I could find enthusiastic Obama supporters in 2008. But see, here's the thing. I don't think that these poll numbers that Hillary Clinton's getting, they're not necessarily going to translate into voter turnout, right? Because that's the important thing, is it doesn't matter how good you're doing in the polls or how well you're doing in the polls. You need to be able to turn those poll percentages into voters, right? Those people that are saying, sure, in the polls, when they do the telephone calls, those same people have to go out and vote, right? They have to vote the same way. Now, because I don't see any movement behind Hillary Clinton, I don't see any enthusiasm behind Hillary Clinton, I don't really see her being able to turn these people into voters. I just don't see it. But with Trump, I do. Because people are so enthusiastic about Trump, I do see him being able to kind of make those make the poll percentages translate pretty accurately into vote. I think this election is going to be a victory for Trump and for America in a way, because we don't really have a president right now that cares about the people. Hillary Clinton doesn't care. I mean, I do this spiel all the time. I'm not even going to go into it again. We've got more news to cover here in the program anyway, so let's keep, moving on with that. But I just wanted to, anybody that if you're listening to this, which I doubt you are, and you're a Hillary Clinton supporter, die hard, or if you know a Hillary Clinton supporter, comment down below. Also comment down below, even if you don't know a Hillary Clinton supporter, let me know how many Hillary Clinton supporters you've seen or talked to, because I haven't seen any. So I would really like to have that information. Like, if I really don't know if there's any out there, right? I'm sure there's some diehard ones. Like I said, at the most I've talked to two. But let me know down below. How many do you know? How many Hillary Clinton supporters that are diehard do you know? I'm actually interested to find out that information. All right, so I want to do a short segment today on Russia, because Russia has come up a lot recently in this presidential election, we have people saying, oh, Donald Trump's too close to Russia, or Hillary Clinton doesn't want to do enough with Russia, or, what are we going to do about Russia? It's just a lot comes up with Russia. And there's a lot of, talk about Vladimir Putin going around, what Donald Trump's doing with Vladimir Putin. Putin came out with that Putin came out and said that Donald Trump was the one great leader in the presidential race. Hillary Clinton can't get anything done with Russia. She had the Russian reset, which completely failed. She sold, some of our uranium reserves to Russia. Still can't get anything done with them. So I want to talk about Russia a little bit and what we should be doing, because it's very interesting. And so there's really two things going on. Russia, I believe that Russia is really our natural ally. All right. Russia is our natural ally. And we need to be working with them to defeat ISIS. And I really think they could be a valuable asset in defeating ISIS. Now, we've kind of been backing away from Russia recently because they've been working with Assad. But Assad, here's what I don't understand. And this is, and I'm going to get into the truth about Trump and Putin. Like I said, the title of the video is, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I first want to, and it all has to do with leadership in that regard. I'm going to write that down. Leadership. Okay, so just so I don't forget to bring that up, let's talk about why we're not working with Russia. So we have the whole Assad situation. Now, if you remember, Barack Obama came out with his red line, and Assad, if they cross this red line and gas their people, then we're not gonna, then we're gonna do whatever. And we didn't end up doing anything. He was very vague about what we were gonna do. We didn't do anything. Apparently, they crossed the red line. It actually turns out that the rebels were the ones who used the gas. There's a lot of evidence behind it, but, of course, no one's going to talk about that. But anyway, the red line's crossed. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Absolutely nothing. And America has this sort of vision where we feel like we have to go in and just take out every single dictator because we feel like we have to be the policeman of the world. Oh, hey, look, that dictator doesn't treat his people as well as I'd like to. So let's just take him out of power. Let's just strip him out of power. Now, the problem is, every time we strip someone out of power, we don't do anything after that. It's literally we strip them out of power and then just leave. And then just some other group comes and takes over. So taking Assad out of power would be the right way to make ISIS more powerful, if that's your goal. Now, let's talk about Putin. Putin's working with Assad. Putin's in communication with Assad. We don't like that, so we're kind of backing away. But the truth is, Putin is our natural ally. Putin can be a great asset in the fight against ISIS. Donald Trump always says, wouldn't it be great if we could work with Putin? And yes, it would be wonderful if we could work with Putin. That way, we wouldn't have to spend all the money. Putin also wants to help take out ISIS. So does Assad, and so do we. So we don't necessarily have to love these people. We don't necessarily have to get in bed with Putin on every single decision we make. But we definitely, they're our natural ally. And we definitely need to be working with them. The last thing we need, and let me talk about why. I'm just going to get into what the video's about. Let's talk about the truth about Trump and Putin. Now, we hear all the conversation back and forth about how Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, they're just way too close. The fact that Donald Trump admires Putin, which he never said, by the way. The media likes to lie about that. Donald Trump never said that. He just said he's a good leader, which compared to Obama, he is. Okay, Putin is not. Putin does stuff for his country that Obama would never do for this country. I'm not saying that I agree with what Putin does and that I think he's a good person, but he's definitely a good leader, right? First of all, Putin's had to deal with Obama for the past 8 years, right? Complete and total garbage. Obama has been a horrible president, no leadership. You can tell Vladimir Putin doesn't like him. So Vladimir Putin sees Donald Trump as a we're actually going to get the opportunity to work with a leader and maybe we can get some stuff done. So we need to be working with Putin. Now, Trump and Putin wants to repair relations with us as well. Putin wants to restore that natural ally kind of thing that I was talking about earlier as well. And he sees two candidates. He sees Hillary Clinton and he sees Donald Trump. Now, the reason that Putin likes Trump is because Trump wants to actually restore relations with Russia, make relations better with Russia. The last thing we need is a conflict with Russia. That's dumb. Why would we ever get into a conflict with Russia? We don't need that. Donald Trump wants to restore relations with Russia. Hillary Clinton wants to not restore relations with Russia. She wants to continue to back away from Russia like Obama's been doing, and that's not going to work. That's absolutely not going to work. Now, we can't just waltz over there with Trump and be like, hey, so friends again? We have to sign a mutual agreement. Now, we need to say that Russia will stop any aggression outside of their borders, right? This is an agreement that we make with Russia before we do anything with them. They need to stop aggression with any aggression outside their borders in return for the U.S. and Europe staying out of the affairs in the nations bordering Russia. And I think that's a fair agreement. That's in the best interest of both countries, so that'll work. Now, we need to repair relations with Russia. They can help us fight ISIS. There's no reason for us to be having conflict with Russia. Absolutely no reason. So when people come out and they say, oh, Donald Trump's way too close to Vladimir Putin. Oh, look, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, just buddy. They're going to destroy the country. Trump is a Putin plant. It's just bullcrap. The truth about Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin is that they respect each other as leaders, and they realize that we need to, moving forward, we need to be natural allies. We cannot have this tension between the two countries anymore because it's doing nothing. We need to work together to defeat ISIS. I'm not saying get in bed with them like I was saying before. You don't need to get in bed with them, everything. But there are certain things that Russia can help us with. Fighting ISIS is one of those things, and that's the truth about Trump and Putin. There's nothing wrong with working with Russia to defeat ISIS. There's nothing wrong with not overthrowing Assad, right? That's just trying to topple every single regime and just let ISIS gain more power in the Middle East. We don't want that. If dictators are good at one thing, it's defeating terrorists, okay? We need Russia. They're our natural ally. They are willing to work with us, and if we sign that agreement that I spoke about, it's just not going to be bad. I think it'll be a good thing, and that's why Putin likes Trump, and that's why Trump likes Putin. It has nothing to do with him being a plant. It has nothing to do with Trump trying to surrender all of our power to Russia. Nothing to do with that. This is just bogus crap made up by the media, and I'm honestly sick and tired of it. So that's why I wanted to make today's video about that. Maybe I'll do a video down the road going into more detail about this sort of thing, and I'll put that on my second channel, Too Savage for Democrats, if you guys want to check that out. So anyway, that is it for today. We're going to continue with more stories here on the podcast. So let's keep moving with the show, and because we got a lot to talk about. So a lot of you probably didn't even know this because the media likes to hide everything from you. Obama's been flooding our country with immigrants. In fact, the media isn't even talking about it, and it's been happening all over the place. Over 700 immigrants have been admitted to the United States by the Obama administration since the beginning of September. You don't hear a word from the media about it. Not a word. I read it on Breitbart. That's the only place I've heard about it so far, and now I'm talking about it, and other people are talking about it as well, but I heard it first on Breitbart. Literally, over 700 in September so far. It's freaking the 9th, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 9th of September. And we already have over 700 refugees flooding into the country by the Obama administration, just letting these people in. Now, we've spoken on the show before about the whole situation going on with the refugees, and it's just disgusting. And like I said, this is all, remember, his goal was October, 10th? I think it was October 10th is when he wanted to have all these refugees in here, and there's a reason behind that. Right? The reason he wants to have all these refugees in here by the 10th is so he can get them voting. He wants to make them vote. He wants to be able to get them in the election. He's putting them in if you look at where Obama's placing the refugees, you can look it up, in strategic positions that'll help the Democrats win the election. That's what he wants. It's the same reason they have dead people vote. It's the same time they get the illegal immigrants to vote. Same kind of thing. It's absolutely the same kind of thing. So 700 refugees so far. Now, do you think those refugees were vetted? I mean, it's been 9 days. We've already admitted 700. Over 700. I mean, there's no way that these refugees were vetted properly before they came in. So we just allowed over 700 people in here. We have absolutely no idea if any of them are terrorists. We have no idea about anything. And he's like close to his 10,000 refugee record. In fact, I think he already passed it. We're sitting here. You're listening to this podcast. You think it's a normal day. You're just going around life. It's completely normal. And then boom, out of nowhere, you see stories like this. Guys, he's flooding our country. It's like he doesn't care about the safety of the American people. You may think it's a normal day. Hey, I got up, went to get some coffee, everything like that. Meanwhile, the country's being flooded with hundreds of thousands, or I guess not hundreds of thousands, hundreds and thousands of refugees into the country that we can't properly vet. The FBI said we can't properly vet them, but we're bringing them in anyway. And it's just complete and total BS. and something needs to be done about it. And I talk about this multiple times in the show. I like covering this topic because it is really important, in my opinion, that the people are informed about what's going on with this. Because they try to hide it from you. The Obama administration is not going to tell you what's going on. They're not going to come out and be like, hey, so today we're submitting 30 refugees. Tomorrow we're going to do this many. We're going to do this many. You got 100 coming in now. And he's not going to do that. He's not an idiot. He's not going to tell you what's happening because he knows it's unpopular. If you actually knew the facts behind bringing in the refugees, I get that there's an emotional thing like, oh, poor people, and you're getting harassed in the Middle East. Oh, let's take care of them. I get there's like an emotional thing. And liberals like emotion. They don't like to use fact. They like to use emotion, i.e. gun control. Oh, poor people getting shot. Let's ban guns, even though facts show banning guns doesn't work. Same thing with the refugees. Oh, poor refugees in the Middle East. Let's bring them all in. They don't know the facts. I would be willing to bet if Obama came out and presented the facts and said, well, we can't vet them properly. They're probably terrorists coming in. They've admitted that terrorists are going to come in. Doesn't really matter. But is it okay if we bring them in? I bet the majority of people would be against it. I bet the majority of people would be against it. But that's just me. Anyway, that's where we're going to wrap the show up for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the show. Also, feel free to comment on any of the topics and check out my other YouTube channels. I have Dylan's Daily Show and Dylan's Daily Vlogs. I'm going to be uploading on Dylan's Daily Vlogs soon, even though I'm not going to be doing daily vlogs. I'm going to try to do, if I do something interesting one day, I'm going to record it and upload it. It's going to be pretty cool. The channel's going to be really good, so make sure you go check out Dylan's Daily Vlogs as well. Links to everything are going to be down in the description below, as always. I will catch up with you guys next time. Bye-bye.